Okay, first question. Which of the following is not true about density? Let's look at the sentence one by one and understand what's going on. Density is the mass per unit volume. This is like saying unit volume. When you see the word unit, you think of one, okay? Unit volume, you can think of 1 cm cube. This is mass in 1 cm cube. This is how I teach you density anyway. I told you density is the mass in 1 cm cube. So this is a true statement, but you're not going to choose the answer because they're asking you for not true, right? So just be careful with the way they phrase the question. Every substance has a fixed density. I think what they meant is every substance will have its own density and then it is fixed. For example, water density is always fixed at one value. Oil has another value, it's fixed. So I would say this is a correct statement. The density of a drop of alcohol is different from a pill of alcohol. Some of you will be raising an eyebrow because I mentioned before, if the material is the same, they will have the same density, right? So this is a wrong statement, and therefore you're going to choose this as the answer. You're going to choose the wrong statement as the answer. Okay? Let's move on. Number 5. Density of water is 1. But there is another piece of glass that has got 2.6, which is more than water. What happens when you drop? It will sink. I think whoever made mistake here is definitely careless, right? Who made mistake with this? Nobody. Maybe I hear wrongly. Never mind. Let's move on. Number 6. Volume of pen. Now, what does it mean when they tell you the bottle has volume? This is to tell you the space, the empty space in the bottle. This is to tell you how much you can contain. Okay? When it is full of liquid, the mass is 150. So this 150 gram is actually the liquid mass plus the container mass. Don't forget that the container has a mass as well. But what is the container's mass? We were told that it's 20. So what do you think is the mass of the liquid in this case? Is this clear to you? Yes? So if this is the mass of the liquid and the volume of the liquid is simply the space of the bottle. The volume of liquid is 10 because that's how much I can store in the bottle. So you take density is mass over volume, it's 130 divided by 10, you get 13. So the answer is 13 grams per cm cube. Who made the mistake with this one? Is it we forget to minus away the 20 grams? It should be, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just be careful, okay? I give you time, I pause the video here first. So, okay, number 8, I think I want you to start being very careful. The teachers like to do this. They give you a unit in kg, but they give you a unit in grams here. You see, this is gram. The teachers like to do this. To make things consistent, you have to convert everything. I rather convert the 5 kg to grams because if not, you will have to convert this to kg per meter cube. So let's keep things simple. Let's convert it to grams because I think this is easy for you to understand. So this is the mass. How do you find the volume? The formula, if you're using the formula, it goes like this. The volume will be the mass over the density, which is 5,000 over the density of 2. Then you get 2,500. So the answer is C. If you cannot do this, you will trick, I think, or just not careful. Okay. Okay, come, let's do the next one, then I'll give you a break. Number 10. Which statement about mass is true? Okay, mass is always constant everywhere. It is not going to change. How much substance you find in an object, you bring it anywhere else, it stays the same. The only thing that will change according to your location is your weight, because the gravity can be different. This goes back to our lesson on the difference between mass and weight. Some of you may have forgotten. You can watch the recording. So which is true? A is true. Understand? Okay, I pause the recording here first. Okay, so let's resume. Number 11. A ship is made out of iron, but can float on water. Now, that's because if you think about the density of iron itself, the density is large, okay? The iron itself is large. The water density, like I said before, you need to memorize the value, is 1 gram per cm cube. But why does it float on water? Because the overall density here is low. The reason is because there's a lot of empty space in the ship. It is all filled with air. So when you consider the overall density, you find that the overall density is going to be less than that of water. It's because of the air. The air is in large quantity. I think you need to know there's a lot of air inside. Okay, that's. I give you time to copy this. I pause the recording. A piece of rock, the mass of a piece of rock is going to be the same as on Earth. Like I said earlier on, the mass doesn't change. Okay, I don't think this should be difficult to you now. Okay, number 14, if you're not getting this right, I think it's just you're not being careful. Okay. Now, is it obvious to you that ball 1 is obviously the lightest one? It can float. Okay. Take a look at ball 2. Can you see that it sinks in liquid X, but when you transfer to liquid Y, it starts to float? Based on this, who you think is the most dense material? Which one has the most density? Of all the material, ball 1, 2, liquid X and Y, which one has the most density? Agree that liquid Y must be the most densest, okay, the most dense. But between ball 2 and 1, can you see that 2 is below 1? So you must say that ball 2 has higher density than 1. This is true. But lower density than liquid Y. So the answer is C. Because ball 2 floats in liquid Y. So you must have a lower density than Y. Understand? I think if you made a mistake here, it's likely because you're careless. Okay, I stop the recording here. Now let's do some other work.